I see the face of God.
Still planning the memorial service for Michael Jackson. They're dealing with the legal issues, not only the kids, but the estate. And still, they have a lot of questions as to the circumstances surrounding Michael Jackson's death.
He was gone too soon and suffered too long. At age 50, Michael Jackson already had one of the longest careers in show business. When he started performing, the Beatles were still playing in stadiums.
First talent show. And I messed up playing my guitar from staring at this chick, and I was nervous on the other half. And Michael, he was so nervous, he dropped the microphone. Hey, Tito. But anyway, we took it away, though. Tito. Remember the first time when we started, you know, Michael used to play the bongos, you know? Yeah, I remember.
This, all of the Jacksons, yourself and the Jacksons?
I would say probably togetherness or just enjoying our work a lot. Putting a lot of love into it, all our effort.
His musical legacy is enormous. He possessed all of the tools to dominate the chart, seemingly an instantly identifiable voice, eye-popping dance moves, stunning musical versatility, and loads of sheer star power.
Thank you, and good luck. It's something that I guess you're just born with. You feel the music, it's like a painter, I guess. You approach the canvas with the paint and the brush, and you're inspired by things around you, I guess, and what's inside of you. And you do it, and I like creating magic.
As an artist, Michael Jackson hardly ever made a mistake. He broke down racial barriers, transformed the art of the music video, and paved the way for modern pop music.
First of all, I'd like to...
This is yours. Oh. I'll hold it.
Okay. First, I'd like to thank God who makes all things possible. I'd like to thank my mother and father, who I love very much, Joseph and Catherine Jackson. I thank Quincy Jones, who's in the audience. I don't see him, he's somewhere. He was right there, but thank you, Quincy. I thank Bill Bray, John Branca, the Epic family, Walter Yetnikoff, and Larry Spesso and Glenn Brandon. I love you. Thank you very much.
He had more hits, more #1 records, sold more tickets, books, and magazines than any other artist in the 20th century. For much of his career, he had an unparalleled level of worldwide influence over the younger generation through his musical and humanitarian contributions. Yet, his life was difficult. From childhood, he was burdened with a demanding and disciplining father, health and financial issues, and a painful search for acceptance while in the midst of constant self-doubt. He was victimized by child abuse and also accused of inflicting the same. He made more money than any other artist, but left behind the largest debt ever accumulated by any individual in show business. Some of it was spent reinventing his life as part of an extra long second childhood, turning out as sad as his first one, changing his physical appearance, defending his privacy, while every move he made was a global event. It will take time for us to fully understand the Michael Jackson legacy, but this documentary will help us remember his colorful, fantastic life.
Are we making magic here?
The day after his death, the quiet Encino, California neighborhood where Michael Jackson grew up experienced a total transformation. Michael Jackson died on June 25, 2009 at his home in Los Angeles, California.
I was here, we saw star maps, hot star maps on Carrollwood and Sunset, and I was here when the ambulance came, and I was shocked, and when I heard helicopters in the air, I had a feeling, to just pack up my stuff, go to the hospital, and we're all praying Michael would be okay. We didn't know what was wrong.
What is your emergency? Yes, sir. I need an ambulance as soon as possible, sir. Okay, sir. What's your address? It's 100 North Carrollwood Drive, Los Angeles, California, 90077. Carrollwood Drive, yes. Okay, sir. What's the phone number you're calling from? Okay, sir. And what's the office of Dr. Tess? Sir, we have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet. He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not.
His personal physician, Conrad Murray, says he found Jackson in bed, not breathing, but with a faint pulse, and administered CPR to no avail.
He's not conscious, sir. Okay.
Paramedics, however, took Jackson to Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead.
Okay. Okay, let's get him down to the floor. I'm doing CPR right now, okay? We need him. We need just already on our way there. We're on our way. Can I help you over the phone? We're already on our way. Did anybody see him? Yes, we have a personal doctor here with him, sir. Oh, you have a doctor there? Yes, but he's not responding to anything, so no, he's not responding to CPR or anything, sir. Doctor, did you see what happened, sir?
His death triggered an outpouring of grief around the world, creating surges of internet traffic and causing sales of his albums to soar. He had been scheduled to perform 50 sold-out concerts to over 1 million people at London's O2 Arena from July 13, 2009 to March 6, 2010, which he implied during a press conference would have been the final concerts of his career.
I love you so much. Thank you all. This is it. This is it. I just want to say that these will be my final show performances in London. This will be it. This is it. And when I say this is it, it really means this is it. I'll be performing the songs my fans want to hear. This is it. I mean, this is really it. This is the final curtain call. Okay? And I'll see you in July.
In the same location where hundreds of camera crews were waiting for the next sensational news from the family, one time a young Michael Jackson known to walk his pet llama, Louie, twice a day. Here is Michael Jackson in happier times.
This is my llama, Louie. He's a really charming, sweet animal. He eats alfalfa. They're originally from South America. And they originally come from the mountains in Peru, the Indians. And they're from the breed of the alpaca, as well as the camel. And Louie, he was in the circus. I bought him from a lady who was a circus performer. And what he would do, he would give kids rides, 60 pounds or under. And that's what he would do all day, and do tricks. He's a charming, sweet animal. Say hi, Louie. Let him see your beautiful ears. Come on, Louie. Be quiet. Are there any questions?
Yeah, and one time you were able to use that stick and he did a trick for you.
Well, I haven't done it in a long time, and I don't know if it'll work. I used to have another one. He was a baby, kind of boy, and he was snow white. And unfortunately, my dogs attacked him and he died. His name was Lola. I'm not sure if it was a girl or a boy. It was beautiful, really beautiful. I really like them. I like their eyes. Right? Most people remember these from Dr. Dolittle. Remember? But the one in Dr. Dolittle had two hands. One in the back and one in the front. People go, oh, that's a thing in Dr. Dolittle. Yeah. Really? And he loves to take pictures. And he says he wants to be a movie star.
Oh, really?
That's why he's profiling right now. Right, Louie? Okay, I'm gonna walk around. Come on.
I'm gonna stick with my group as long as my group be here. You better believe it.
Are you gonna be an actor and be with the group still?
Well, my plans are going to engineering school. I like to invest my money in studios.
Well, I was planning on being an actor and singing, something like Sammy Davis style.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yes, sir.
Good thinking.
What about you, Jermaine? What about
you, Jermaine?
Well, you're gonna be a writer.
Yeah. Right on, bro. I can dig that. Amen.
Strong family bonds help us to thrive in all aspects of life. Lack of these bonds can lead to forever seeking that something which is missing. Michael Jackson experienced both. Men are frequently measured by being a good father and being a son. Michael had an epic relationship with his father, Joe Jackson, the patriarch of the Jackson family. Michael Jackson frequently stated that he was physically and emotionally abused by his father from a young age, enduring incessant rehearsals, whippings, and name-calling. However, he also credited his father's strict discipline as playing a large part in his success. Michael Jackson's father also admitted to the BBC in 2003 that he whipped his son as a child. Their relationship was very complex, and at a speech at Oxford University, Michael Jackson himself explained it best.
Those of you who are familiar with the Jackson 5 know that I began performing at the tender age of 5, and that ever since then, I haven't stopped dancing or singing. But while performing and making music undoubtedly remain as many of my greatest joys. When I was young, I wanted more than anything else to be a typical little boy. My father is a tough man, and he pushed my brothers and me hard, really hard. From the earliest age to the best, he wanted us to be the best performers we could possibly be.
Michael Jackson's art and life proved genius, his childhood recaptured.
Joe Jackson, to me, is a hero, because without Joe Jackson not only giving birth, him and Catherine giving birth to all those wonderfully talented children, Joe knew exactly what to do to make Michael the best. And Michael was asked once, well, you talked about Joe giving you the whoopings and, your childhood being hard. Would you exchange, those whoopings and all that stuff for who you are? And Michael said, no, I'll still be who I am. I keep all that. So he forgave it. I think that people exploited Michael's weaknesses. And maybe Michael did get spanked, but if he hung around other people, maybe they would have said, I got spanked too, And it wouldn't have been such a big deal, but I think people exploited it so that they would have a weakness on him, so that they could have something on him that they could manipulate. And I believe that even Michael in his later years called his father a genius. And he said, you take one whooping away and I might not be who I am.
Come on, eh? Come on, John. Come on, John.
I have started reflecting on the fact that my father grew up in the South, in a very poor family. He came of age during the Depression, and his own father, who struggled to feed his children, showed little affection towards his family and raised my father and his siblings with an iron fist. Who could have imagined what it was like to grow up a poor black man in the South, robbed of dignity, bereft of hope, struggling to become a man in a world that saw my father as a subordinate? I had begun to see that even my father's harshness was a kind of love, an imperfect love to be sure, but love nonetheless. He pushed me because he loved me, because he wanted no man ever to look down at his offspring. And now, with time rather than bitterness, I feel blessing. In the place of anger, I have found absolution, and in the place of revenge, I have found reconciliation. And my fury has slowly given way to forgiveness. And that is why I want to forgive my father.
Unhindered by the goblins of the past, in a world filled with the hate, we must still dare to hope, keep hope alive. In a world filled with anger, we must still dare to comfort. In a world filled with despair, we must still dare to dream. In a world filled with distrust, we must still dare to believe. To all of you tonight,
Michael Jackson's most memorable film role came in the motion picture The Wiz. This was a musical known as an African-American version of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum.
And good luck.
The original 1975 Broadway production won 7 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The musical was an early example of Broadway's mainstream acceptance of works of an all-black cast. Motown Productions acquired the film rights to The Wiz in 1977 and signed Stephanie Mills in anticipation of having her star in the film adaptation. Motown singer and actress Diana Ross asked Motown CEO Berry Gordy to cast her as Dorothy instead, but Gordy declined, feeling that 33-year-old Ross was far too old for the part. However, Ross contacted Rob Cohen of Universal Pictures, who offered to have Universal finance the film if Ross were to play Dorothy, at which point Gordy acquiesced. Motown star Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow, Nipsey Russell as the Tin Man, Richard Pryor as the Wiz, and Lena Horne as Glinda the Good Witch. Ted Ross and Mabel King reprised their respective roles as the Cowardly Lion and Eveline from the Broadway production. Sidney Lumet served as director, working with screenwriter Joel Schumacher and music supervisor Quincy Jones.
Well, The Wiz was great because it was an an offshoot from The Wizard of Oz, except for it had a black flair to it. And The Wiz, you know, with all these great people, you know, Berry Gordy was executive producer for it, so it was kind of like a Motown production. And with Diana Ross, they thought she was too old for the part, you know, and she did an excellent job as Dorothy. But Michael with the Scarecrow and how he just, you know, his body moved and he made it seem like there was no bones, because scarecrows have no bones. And Michael singing ease on down the road. It was just fantastic. And the thing about The Wiz is where he met Quincy Jones. And, you know, they got to know each other during the taping of The Wiz. And with that, Quincy finally said, you know, I think, you know, we can do some things together. And Michael said, well, could you produce my next album? And there you go. Off the Wall came first, and then after that, the absolute masterpiece of Thriller, even though I think Off the Wall was a masterpiece as well.
Just an embryo of a thought, of an idea. It could be just a brief concept, and then you collaborate with someone. It could be a writer, and you'll say, you know, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this. And you tell them to develop it.
Jackson reunited with producer Quincy Jones to record his sixth studio album, The Thriller. The relationship between Jackson and Jones became strained during the album's recording. Jackson spent much of his time rehearsing the dance steps alone.
Vi și inventează